You can stop for a moment, right now, whatever you're carrying, whatever you've been holding together, whatever version of strong you've been performing for the world, or for yourself, or for the part of you that still believes you have to earn the right to be okay. You can put it down, just for right now, just while we're here together. Because somewhere along the way, you learned that stopping wasn't safe, that resting meant falling behind, that needing a break was the same thing as being weak, that if you slowed down for even a moment, everything you'd been holding together would come apart. He taught you that. Maybe not in words, but in the way he responded when you were tired, in the way he made you feel like your needs were an inconvenience, in the way he kept moving the finish line so there was always something more you needed to do, to be, to prove before you could finally exhale. You learned to keep going because stopping felt dangerous, but you're not in that anymore. And your body knows it, even if your nervous system hasn't fully caught up yet. Even if part of you is still waiting for something to go wrong when you slow down. Even if rest still feels a little bit like a trap. It's not a trap anymore. You are allowed to rest. Not because you've earned it. Not because you've healed enough, or been strong enough, or done enough work on yourself to deserve a break. Not because you've reached some threshold that finally qualifies you for softness. You are allowed to rest simply because you are tired. And being tired is enough of a reason. Think about what you've been carrying. You carried a relationship that asked more of you than it ever gave back. You carried the confusion of not understanding what was real. You carried the loneliness of being with someone and still feeling completely alone. You carried the exhaustion of managing his moods, anticipating his reactions, adjusting yourself constantly to keep the peace. You carried the slow erosion of your own sense of self, the quiet loss of knowing what you think, what you feel, what you need, what you want. The strange grief of looking in the mirror one day and not quite recognizing the person looking back. You carried all of that for a long time, often without anyone fully understanding the weight of it. And then it ended. And instead of being allowed to rest, you were handed the work of healing, the therapy, the reading, the processing, the rebuilding, the explaining yourself to people who wanted a simpler story. The getting up every day and trying to put yourself back together while also functioning, working, showing up, being present for your life. That is so much. That is so much to carry for so long with so little rest. And yet somewhere you picked up the idea that rest was not available to you yet. That you had to keep pushing, keep healing, keep doing the work, keep being productive with your pain. As if grief had a quota. As if healing had a pace you were required to keep. I want to gently challenge that. Rest is not the opposite of healing. Rest is part of healing, one of the most important parts. Your nervous system cannot repair itself while it is still running. Your mind cannot process what happened to you while it is constantly braced for what might happen next. Your heart cannot open back up while it is still contracted in protection. Rest is what creates the conditions for all of it to happen. When you stop, when you breathe, when you let a day be soft and slow and without agenda, when you stop asking yourself what you've accomplished and just let yourself exist for a moment, that is when the deeper healing happens. Not the loud healing, not the breakthrough healing, the quiet kind, the kind that happens underneath in the places you can't see. So, what does rest look like for you? Maybe it's a day where you don't analyze anything, where you don't try to understand him or yourself or what happened or what it means, where you just let your mind be still. Maybe it's saying no to something that would have taken more than you have right now, not because you're giving up, but because you are finally listening to what your body is telling you it needs. Maybe it's a slow morning, a cup of something warm, sitting somewhere quiet, not being productive, not being purposeful, just being. Maybe it's letting someone take care of you for once. Receiving help without immediately feeling like you owe something in return. Letting kindness land without suspicion. Maybe it's sleep. Real sleep. Without the guilt of everything you should be doing instead. Whatever it looks like for you, I want you to know it's allowed. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to explain to anyone why you're not pushing harder right now. You don't have to perform recovery for people who want to see you bouncing back faster than this. You get to do this at the pace your body needs. And right now, your body might need to stop. There will be people who don't understand that. People who think healing looks like momentum, like visible progress, like getting back out there, like being okay in ways they can see. They don't know what you've been through. Not really. And you don't owe them a performance of recovery. You owe yourself gentleness. Especially now. Especially after what you survived. Because here's the truth about what you survived. You were in something that never let you rest. That kept you in a constant state of low-level fear. Constantly monitoring. Constantly adjusting. Constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. Your nervous system was on high alert every day for as long as you were in it. And nervous systems don't just switch off when the danger is gone. They keep watch. They stay ready. Because they learned that things can change without warning. That's not weakness. That's what survival does to a body. And that body, your body, needs rest the way a person who has been running for years needs to finally sit down. Deeply. Completely. Without apology. So today, if you can, let it be a soft day. Let yourself move slowly. Let yourself need less than usual. Let yourself be somewhere between healing and just existing, without forcing it to be one or the other. You have been so strong, for so long, in ways most people will never fully see or understand. You are allowed to be tired now. You are allowed to rest. Not because you've finished. Not because you've arrived. But because you are human, and humans need to stop sometimes. Need to be still. Need to breathe. And in that stillness, something quiet happens. You start to feel yourself again. Not the version of you that was always performing, always managing, always bracing. The version underneath. The one that was there before him. The one that is still there, waiting patiently for you to slow down enough to find her. She's not going anywhere. Rest. Come back to her slowly. She has time. Soft words for hard days. Always here.